I read somewhere that one of the great myths about salaries is that they somehow operate outside time. But the truth is, time is money, and for most people, their time literally is money. Hence, the need to look at the topic time and financial management. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. I am Olujoke Mosako. My guest for today is Mr. Eni Femi Owen, Head Card and Mobile Banking Products, Globus Bank Nigeria. Stay with us. All right, so just give us a brief on time and money or financial management.
I'm sure this is quite a very extensive, I mean, as comprehensive as it might sound, it's one of the simplest concepts of living today. You're talking about time and money, two very scarce commodity, but are relatively available to everyone. It's just in quantity. But in the case of money, in case of time, we all allocated 24 hours a day, 60 seconds a minute, 60 minutes an hour, no more, no less. So I think that's just the slight definition of time. But when it comes to time management today, it's a pretty standard ideal that everyone who wants to advance or move forward or achieve certain goals in life should adhere to today. Um, Managing your money and time are technically the same. It's a flip of the same coin. If you don't have any of them, it just makes you feel like, whoa, what did I do? If it's time, what did I do all day? If it's money, what have I spent? What did I do with all the money I had? And at the end of the period, you just keep wondering what happened. And you're left in this constant, because the truth is, just like time, money somehow comes. It's like a cycle. So you cannot be without money in perpetual. So there will be a time when you would have money. It's one of those standard basic theory of money supply today. It will get to you. It is what you do with it. They are directly related. So if you can manage your time effectively, you would excel in managing your money effectively. If you manage your money effectively, it unequivocally leads to the same management concept for money. Time is money, they say, like you rightly said. But I don't want to dabble into that mathematical relationship where they tell you the present value of money is and the value is calculated against the future value of money, PVFV, and how that stands as core the core foundation for investment today. It's literally why people go crazy, and why Robin Hood decided not to allow some of us uh, buy MC stocks 2 days ago. Now, prioritizing your task it's key, and it allows you to accomplish more within limited time instead of just doing everything and going about anything. You end up just doing the same thing you could have done a little bit better, but you end up doing it over and over and again, and you end up not achieving the set objective you set out to do.
So, how convenient is time then?
Time is as convenient as you define it. Like I said earlier, convenience is defined by the bearer of it. I What is convenient to me by my time might not be convenient to you. So I was at a show where Dangote said he had a meeting with his executives by 2 a.m. I mean, that might not be convenient for me, but um, when you thoroughly define your space and define your time and define your life on this is what this is the time frame I work at best. It cascades down to not just work, even studying. You realize some people study more at night, some people study more during the day, some people work early through the early hours of the day, and some people work at night. So the convenience, it's relative. Good time management will allow you to accomplish more in a shorter period of time. So it's better you manage properly, and it allows you more free time, and so you end up getting that convenience that you crave for. You know what I'm saying? It takes advantage of learning opportunities. It lowers your stress. I mean, so convenience is literally just living a stress-free life, and it helps you focus. It leads to more career success, and I mean, so the benefit of time management is it improves every aspect of your life, both time and financial management.
So, what is the balance equilibrium between saving money and saving time?
The equilibrium between saving money and saving time is, in the case of time, I mean, you end up not saving time. You invest time. Um, Saving is literally keeping away present consumption for future consumption. But investing time is, if you save time, you just you scratch the surface. You don't optimize your potentials by saving time. So if I'm saving time, I can say I decide not to do this thing, but I can still do it tomorrow. I've ended up saving time, and it's a thin line between saving time and wasting time. It's investing time is what you do, because unlike money, it's idle value. When you don't do anything, it costs you more because you can't get it back.
Yeah.
So if you keep time away, by definition of saying you want to save time, you end up not doing. So it's investing time. So it now brings the concept of reprioritizing. So if I'm not going to do X, X, X now, can I replace it with Y, X, Y to ensure that I don't lose track of this time that I would never get back, unlike money?
I want you to please outline or list the key elements of time and financial management, and how can we successfully manage money.
The first element, I mean, I had to do a little bit of research, and every writer and every author said the same thing. Said the same thing. One is getting priorities right. Set your priorities right. It's setting priorities right. For some reasons, and the thing is about setting priorities, how our mind works. I mean, the brain has synapses that can think outside. The brain has the ability to think about 10 different things at the same time. So the brain is developed to make you gather focus, and at the same time can lose focus. So you can be thinking of something and you have a snap and you're thinking of something else. Going to keep my time to just do X and X. If you want to keep track of what is truly important, you have to set priorities. Set priorities essentially, it's the basic for time management. You understand? And you need to manage your time well once you set your priorities. Finish, and like I said, setting priorities, not replacing priorities. So it's priority. It doesn't mean if I'm going to do Y, X, and I move priority for Y, it doesn't mean I want to do X. So that is one, getting priorities right. Number one. Number two is getting that enabling environment. So at the summit on when I was at the summit on Wednesday, and I spoke on an enabling environment. So not just for payment, even for yourself. So you have to manage your time well. The first thing you have to do is you create that enabling, that right, the ideal environment for you. And what does it mean? It means an environment where you can focus on things to do without getting distracted. The next is goal setting. Starting my career from a bank, targets were what we're driven by, and it defined us. I mean, it's simple. This is the target to achieve. This is the goal. You get it, you don't get it, you fall short. You get it, you get rewarded, and it's standard. Bring that back to your life today. Goal setting is the process of deciding in advance the things you want to achieve. You ask yourself questions like, what am I aiming at? What tasks do I need to do to achieve this? You can set these goals by keeping your purpose and mission in mind, and also in writing. We have content motivational speakers who say these things daily. That write down your goals. It helps you it gives a visual, a visual reminder to this is what I've set out to do. Number 4, create habits for managing time. This is It's easy to say, but it's hard to adhere to. We are all creatures of habits. I mean, we like to follow similar, familiar routine. I don't want to go out of the ordinary. But I woke up one day and discovered, Ernie, you do not. The only international language I know is English. I'm not British. I'm not English. I'm Nigerian, and so if I can speak one international language is English. What stops me from learning an international language like French? So I picked up Duolingo, and I tell you today I had my 67th class. So for 67 days in a row, I've not missed a French class of 20 minutes. So it's that habit, and habits comes when you define what you want, and you create a mental a mental stamina to say this, I'm going to do this to ensure I get X and X. No. So reinforce your good habit formation. And like people will tell you, by rewarding yourselves nearly every time you complete the activity. And for some people, rewarding yourself might not be for me. How do I reward myself? By learning French. All I have to do is take a picture of my 66th day streak and put it online. I get people praising me and telling me, yes, oh good. So that is a form of reward to me. So I mean, you can treat yourself to any favorite snack, like feedback from people on what I've done. It helps. So the next thing is canceling out non-priorities, taking out things that are not priority to you. In as much as you can set priorities, you can also take things that are non-priority, both in time and in your finance today. You have to know exactly things that are taking your time. What are the things taking my time? I did a few research, just 10 colleagues at work, and I asked, how many hours do you spend staring at your phone? I know some people who cannot do without looking at their phone except they are asleep. As long as they're awake, they're staring at your phone. I'm not even talking about the effect on your eyes, but the mental block it gives you as you. I mean, it's the closest thing to an addiction today. I mean, very few people cannot do without their mobile phones today, and it's for things that it's there's nothing wrong with sitting and saying, you know what, for the next 4 hours, I do it. I mean, most weekends. Next 4 hours, I'm going to stay off the internet. I turn off my mobile data, I turn off my internet, and I'm with myself. And I ask myself standard questions that I might not get from other people. And I see myself, I mean, and you don't have to go extremes by deleting social media handles. I mean, it won't work. You only just keep craving it. But pick an hour and say, you know what? Today I am not going to be on Twitter. Today, my WhatsApp status, I'm not going to view. So those basic things help. And those are the 5 elements I picked up. There are a lot of them. I mean, personal discipline, financial discipline, yes, financial knowledge. You don't have to be a finance expert to know things like budgeting, defining your cash flow, setting up standing instruction for bills and the likes.
Okay, so let's just quickly go on this break, and when we come back, we'll continue from there. So stay with us. The program is still Let's Talk, and I have been talking with Mr. Eni Femi Owen. He is the head card and mobile banking products, Globus Bank Nigeria. So welcome once again, and thank you so much, Mr. Eni. It's been wonderful having you. So as we continue in the program, we know that if we lose money, you can always get money back. It might not be the exact time, but it will surely come again. But if you lose time, time is gone forever. So how then can we adequately manage it?
Well, one of the things, standard things for managing time and money is, like I say, it's getting basic time management skills, like managing time effectively, things like planning, organizing, controlling the hours.
So do you need a calendar for that?
You don't need a calendar to know when you're hungry. You don't need a calendar to know when if you're a lady, when you're seeing your period. So if you look at it as your life and say, I don't need a calendar to plan my day, because why? One of the elements I had earlier mentioned, which is goal setting, is key. So if there's a goal to achieve, if there is an objective to get, time management is everything. If not, it goes down to even at work, even as undergraduates. You had time limits for submitting every chapter of your project work. So if you don't manage your time properly, you don't get anything done. All we have is just 24 hours. But some people and the thing you think people don't understand is the effect of lack of time management cascades around every income class. So today, trust me, if the richest man today in the world is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has over $118 billion net worth. And I can assure you that if he had managed his time properly, he could have earned more. So let's shape our mind towards not looking what he is at, but what it could have been. I can assure you, if you ask Jeff today, what could you have done better? He will list things to you that you will be amazed that, wow, this, if someone as rich as this could could say this and lose out on this and still be at this. Imagine what would have been at if he had money. So everybody is everybody is suffering from lack of proper time management. I mean, it's just time management is basically productively using the available time you get to get things done. I mean, you don't the process of planning and controlling. So being in control is it's I think I've always used the word discipline, but these are standard time management tenants today. So if I want to go to finance again, like I said, budgeting, setting and following a budget. That's like almost the basic personal finance skill. You don't even need a third party to teach you that. You write out a list of all your income and expenses. Like Adela said, you don't even need you don't even need a you don't need a bachelor's degree to know how to spend. Even a bricklayer who carries bricks and earns maybe 1,000 naira a day has an idea of what he's going to earn. He's going to invest 12 hours at that site and earn nothing more than 5,000. Time is already taken. Within 12 hours, there's nothing else he can do. He's limited to just 12 hours. And within 12 hours, he can only earn 5,000. He cannot earn more. He might maybe earn less. So this budgeting comes into play. So what is he going to do in that regard to ensure that the scarce money he has and the scarce time he puts it into effective use? Then the next for few earners is financial investment today. I mean, people look at finance as something only for the rich. But thanks to technology today, there are two apps I can if I can speak of. The Robinhood app in US and the Bamboo in Nigeria. I use Bamboo in Nigeria and I bought Twitter shares, two stock of Twitter shares, about $29. They are worth over 51 now. I didn't need to read anything. It was literally on an app, funded the wallet. These apps will just allow you to make real investments in a very carefree manner with very small amount, and there are no transaction fees. So I have doubled income from May. I doubled income from May to August by buying 2 units of Twitter shares. If I had bought 100, if I bought 1,000. So financial investment is a mentality. You don't have to be super rich to understand the tenets of financial investment.
Okay, perhaps someone is actually having problem in financial management. If as a banker or a finance person, how would you, what are those things you would tell the person to do on a daily basis? Let's start with the daily basis before we can actually increase to weekly or monthly. Just a planner to help the person rearrange and get it. Maybe, okay, the person cannot actually do that with everything you said. Okay, these are the things you can do, simple stuff that a person can do to actually plan his or her finances on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis.
If you're a monthly earner, you cannot plan an income on a daily basis because your income comes at the end of the month. You have an expense, you have series of debit alerts from the first day of the month till payday. So the best you can do is control these expenses. And we see people living way. I mean, one, you can't earn $100 a month, and your expense is $120 a month. You always be in debt.
Yeah.
And these things are, and we see them everywhere because of things like bandwagon effect, keeping up with the Joneses effect. Um, Number one on this, if I'm to highlight this tips, number one is your income. Know your income and know how much you would put into basic expenses. It's standard. This money will come from somewhere. I mean, you can't spend what you don't have.
Sure.
But we find ourselves in an economy where people spend way more, and you end up having series and layers of debts, and it puts everyone in jeopardy and trouble. Then your cash flow, manage your spending, manage your spending. So there are some unnecessary out of the blue spending. So you cannot earn $100 a month and you go shopping online as if you earn $1,000 a month and you see a Gucci bag worth $110. It's a no. It should be a red flag. So if you have financial discipline, you earn $100 a month or $100 a day, a month. Let me stick to a month, and you see a Gucci bag worth $1,000. It's a no for it. That's it. So even the sellers, the sellers they're not talking to you. You're not their target customers. They know their target. So it's like I am now trying to go to walk into a Ferrari shop. I shouldn't be there. It doesn't make me any less me. Do you understand? So not driving a Ferrari doesn't mean the objective of owning. These are, I don't want to go into one of the concepts of demand as the ostentatious demand. I don't really, a car is just to get me from point A to point B. So why do I need to go into debt to get a Ferrari when I can get a car that can get me from point A to point B? These cars are not made for me. They're made for people who can afford them. Number two is capital. Always have leftover cash. So you can't keep working on a deficit budget. Sadly, if I might say, we have countries like Nigeria standardly funding um, budgets on debt. I mean, you can allow that on an aggregate level, but on your micro individual level, you cannot. You should have leftover cash. Then things like investment. Investment cannot be overemphasized. The truth is, yes, the risk in investment is something people don't really talk about, but have you considered the risk of not investing? I don't know how I would feel if I had woken up on the 24th of August 2020 and realized those Twitter shares were now $52 and I could have bought them at 29 in May. I don't know how I would have felt. So if I didn't do it, it would have been terrible. I rather do it and know, yes, it was worth the risk. And it's calculated risk again. You go online, you check, you see what's going on, you just don't use the internet for what the internet can do for you. Internet like the country. What can you do for the internet? What the internet can do for you? Use the internet wisely. Next, standard of living. Honestly, sticking to your basic standard of living. Next one is financial understanding. Understand your finance today. Another angle is savings. Have emergency cash on hand and let them be as liquid as possible. Long-term debt instruments are not standard savings. I mean, have ready-made savings that you can reach out for. Then lastly, be financially aware. Have a relationship. I can't, the kind of friends I have, we can't speak one, two, three without talking about finance, economy, or tech. Those are the things that appeal to me. Even on my Twitter page, you see the product manager, tech enthusiast, and the like. So you have to be like-minded with what you want. I want to make as much money as I can in this world. I don't see myself living more than 100 years, and that's a little time, honestly. But it looks as if it's long. So do the best you can while you're here.
Now, how can we then manage financial security and growth after all of these things that we put in place to actually excel financially?
Control unnecessary or impulse spending. Controlling impulse spending. It's the biggest problem that faces everyone today. I mean, you see, doing things out of your income bracket. I don't want to go back to things like shopping online for bags or things that put a heavy drain on our finances. Controlling impulse spending. I mean, I can't wake up and say I want to go to a store to get something way above my means because I just collected salary. It can't work. The next is make savings. Make savings. The act of saving is a personal discipline. It could be you could set it. Mobile banking applications have the standing order setting today where you can move money, issue a standing instruction where every time your income come, a fraction of it is moved into savings for you. Next is evaluate your expenses and live as careful and as frugal as you can. Always track your expenses. Always know what am I spending, how much am I spending on gas, how much am I spending on food and the likes. Next is keep your family, eliminate and avoid debts. And that is key. It's the basis for living beyond your income. If you have credit cards, personal loans, or other things, you need to start curbing and reducing them. You're just saving the inevitable for later. The next is there's something I scribbled down. Use an envelope system. This is digitally moving your money and saying this is what I'm apportioning to this. I shouldn't be spending more than 10% of my income on this. I cannot be spending more than X amount of X percent on alcohol or X amount on X. You understand? The next is pay bills as soon as you get them, not saving them and trying to pay the necessary things. So we are saying personal financial management doesn't mean you should not live or get the basic things. True, things like health insurance, food, those are standard things you need to do. So ensure those standard things are are taking out. Then also sit back and look, how much am I worth to you? It's easy when everybody says, okay, the top 10 richest men, Jeff is 100 and almost 190. Elon Musk was about 180. The Google brothers are almost about 100. So can you ask yourself, how much am I worth? I mean, how much am I worth? I ask myself. So we need to ask, and if you do that, it questions your thoughts on what you really achieved with your life. Do whatever you must to improve your net worth. It's two ways, either by reducing your debt or increasing savings or increasing income. So these three things: debt reduction, savings, increase savings, or increase your income. Now, increasing income might require extra things like knowledge gap, getting certifications, getting more jobs, getting a higher paying job, and the likes. Look for new ways to get money. Look for new ways to make money. You understand? So it can never be overemphasized. You cannot make enough money. Even the richest men are still trying to make more money.
All right. Thank you so much, Annie. It's been wonderful having you on the show. Do you have any final word?
The final three things: debt reduction, increase savings, increase wealth.
Thank you so much. So you've heard it from Annie. It says, make sure that you control your spending and evaluate your expenses. So until next time, I remain Olujo Kemosaku. Bye for now.